Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. I think of you as more of a pick and mix man than a chocolate egg man.
Correct.
Yeah. So
I would agree.
Is Easter disappointing for you?
Not really, no. I just eat sweets.
Okay, fine. Chocolate covered sweets. Did you do anything nice?
Not a great deal. Did you?
No, I just hung out really. It's just nice time to chill. Went to the fun fair, Hampton Court Palace. That was a scene.
Oh.
Full on fun fair, mate. I haven't been to fun fair in years. It's the fun of having kids, isn't it?
When did you go Hampton Court?
Sunday. No, Monday, yesterday. Sorry, time of recording is Tuesday. Should we name all the other days of the week? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
My missus and her daughter went to Hampton Court on Sunday.
But did they go to the fun fair or they went to the Hampton Court?
I don't know what they did. They just said, going to Hampton Court. Do you want to come? I said, no.
Oh.
So I didn't go. I watched the Formula One and the football.
Good lad.
Yeah.
They had a big fun fair there. It's amazing, mate.
Yeah,
really big, proper, legit fun fair.
Do you like going on the rides? Up and down, round and round?
I'm not that fussed,
No.
but seeing my daughter's reaction to doing some of that stuff for the first time was unbeatable. I mean, just pure joy. I actually think she's a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, I was going to say, is she adrenaline junkie?
Yeah, she's into it. Really into it. So it was good fun. Apart from that, just plodded along.
Yeah.
But we have some STG garage logistics to discuss.
What you done now?
Well, I teased it last week. There is a new car coming.
Oh.
Which means something has to go.
Yep.
So the Panamera is going to be going.
Yeah.
12 months. By the way, Twiggy is absolutely
Lost the plot.
It's chasing a tail by my feet. Twiggy, you're right. I don't know if people could see or hear that, but I had to mention it because she was literally spinning in circles.
Looks like there's a couple of rats in the room.
You're right, Twiggy. Premature.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have it to the end of the year. 18 months, I thought. That was always my plan.
Well, year's all right for you. It's about normal.
For me, it's normal.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd chat through that a little bit. And then coincidentally, the Alfa Romeo Tonale long-term is going back at literally the same time as I'm selling the Panamera.
How long you had that now?
6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I thought we'd do a little bit of daily car chat.
Yeah, all right then.
So, Panamera.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
I better have that, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who's interested in buying that car, because it is a delicious spec. I'm probably going to be one of the, I don't know. Anyway, let's get into that later. But
good value.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think you're right. We'll make it look pretty.
I have genuinely formed a love for that car.
Yeah.
I have formed a love for it because it has just done what I sort of wanted it to do, of being a big barge with all the comfort features, all the usability. Like, okay, the boot is weirdly small. The cabin isn't as big as you'd think given the size of the car, but it all fit. Like, I never had an issue. I had moments where I've put the seats down and put one of these chairs in the back. I've loaded up with stuff from the studio, obviously gone on lots of trips with my daughter. Like, we've done loads of stuff in it, and I've used it. I don't know how many miles I've done it over the last 12 months, but it's just been glorious. I actually took the tune off in the end, the Litchfield tune that I did.
You?
Yeah, like, if I'm honest, I didn't really need it, and it was good and impressive, but I was just a bit like, yeah, as I saw the end of my time with that car coming, I thought I'd take it off, and it's fine.
I think your old mate told you not to do that in the first place anyway,
yes,
really.
You did.
I think I did, yeah. If there's any footage of that, put that in, can you please? Because that's another tick I told you so moment from me.
But they're funny Panameras, right? Because in that market, which we know is big German executive cars, which is always a bit of a weird, market anyway, I think it's the alternative choice, wouldn't you say? If you're looking at 5 Series Touring, E-Class, Estate, do you not think the Panamera is actually where Macan and Cayenne are almost
I hear what you're saying. I still think that Macan and Cayenne, obviously they have a huge following amongst Porsche owners, but I think in terms of value, when you look at the other 3 German brands, the Audi, Mercedes and BMW equivalents, they always go them first.
Yeah.
And then you'll have Land Rover and Porsche somewhere after that when you're looking at value for money,
Yeah.
essentially. And that's predominantly what people buy cars on, value for money. You know, you find that normally people that have Macans and Panameras and Cayennes, they've had or got 911s, Porsche, you know, other Porsches.
Sure.
Whereas your normal run-of-the-mill man that just wants an SUV is quite far down the line because they're more expensive.
Yes, and my car has been amazing as a used car.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as I think I discussed when I bought it, you know, it was like 121 grand originally, like all
Unbelievable.
spec'd up, and I picked it up for just over 50. And I still feel like I'm driving in a 100 grand car. Like
Mad.
the amount of tech and details. And remember, it's from 2018, but
Yeah.
the amount of systems, night vision mode and adaptive cruise control, all these different things, which I know have become standard. But as I say, don't forget, it's from 2018 and it feels plush and there's leather everywhere. It just feels really expensive.
Yeah, because they haven't changed the Panamera that much in the 7 years. So you put a private plate on it and it still looks fairly modern.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing.
And don't forget, I got that Apple CarPlay upgrade,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
I had the full screen CarPlay, which again makes it sort of feel way more modern. That little wireless adapter, like it has just been, I think, a much better dad wagon, to be all on 2025 and sexist about it, over an RS6 because of its ploddability.
Yeah, fair. But would you I don't think you would compare it to an RS6. Maybe in terms of space, although what you said earlier is bang on. It's quite a big car, but it's actually not that big.
Yeah.
An RS6 is big inside, but in terms of power and performance, you'd obviously put the RS6 a level above.
Yeah, you'd put it up against the turbo or the turbo SE hybrid or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
My car being a base V6
Yeah.
hybrid, like it's yeah,
But
you're
definitely
right.
A6 size,
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, A6 size, and then because of the price and all those things like that, yes, you could. But it's just been, it's felt more premium. It's felt more loaded with features.
Yeah.
It's felt weirdly more special, but also under the radar. You know,
Yeah.
that RS6 is such an attention grabber, and that Panamera, like I've had a few people give me a nod, a few people check it out, other Panamera owners, whatever. But in general, no one cares.
Yeah.
You just kind of sneak around under the radar.
Has it been all right largely? Because they do
Yeah.
have their odd little, a bit like the Cayennes, really. To be fair, they do have their little glitches. Oddly,
Well, obviously, I bought it specifically through Porsche retailer to get the 2 years of Porsche warranty.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll be selling it with a year of warranty still on.
Uh-huh.
It has had some niggles. It has had to go back with just sort of, you know, censor this or warning that. Nothing
Yeah.
that's ever stopped me driving.
No,
nothing
no,
that's-
no.
Mainly because I've allowed the hybrid battery to drain.
Okay.
So I very, very rarely plug that car in because we have one space with a charger outside the house, and that's where the Tonale's been because that's a
Fair.
hybrid. And
Fair.
that's the car that we transport the daughter around in and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
fair
So
enough.
that's been parked right outside, and I've sacrificed being able to charge the Panamera, and I've either charged it using the engine, or if I go somewhere and there's a charger, then I plug it in.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time I let it run dry, and that's
Because it's
where
got regenerative.
yeah, you can knock it into sport mode, or even in hybrid, you can choose a regen function, so you can drive and it recharges, and it's a relatively quick process.
Mm-hmm.
Newer hybrids are better. I have said that if I was buying again, I wouldn't need the hybrid functionality. I've enjoyed it. I like the fact that I can sneak away. I like it when it's charged up. I like using that and the silence and all of these things. But I definitely could leave it. Like if
Yeah,
I was
you
going
wouldn't
again,
miss it,
I wouldn't
basically.
miss it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
I
enough.
wouldn't miss it. And yeah, I don't think it's essential. And it is an older hybrid technology, so it does burn through the range pretty quickly. It's, as I say, not super quick to recharge, but rechargeable when you're on the move. There is a little bit of clunkiness because I think the engine's also, the Panamera is still a Porsche. There's an inherent sportiness to it. There's a loudness to the engine. There's a firmness to the ride that
Yeah.
gives you an inclination that you're in a Porsche. So when it kicks in, you notice it.
Yeah, of
and there
course.
is a bit of a clunk. It's not as smooth and as subtle as, let's say, the new Range Rover Sport
Yeah.
hybrid and things like that.
But the new Panameras are probably just as it's tech, mate.
It's tech.
just
It's
moved
tech.
on.
Yeah, the new cars will be super
Yeah.
smooth. But I thought what would be fun to do before that car appears online, which I guess will be in the next couple of weeks. If you are interested, either reach out to Tony directly or wait for the advert to go live. I haven't quite finished. I've got to film a main channel video with it, sort of summing everything up anyway, but it will be going live. I thought this week's stock watch, we could look at some comparative cars and see if there's anything as good as mine, because I don't think there will be. Anyway, Jack, roll the theme tune.
Finding the best cars on the internet so you don't have to.
Okay, so I've got a couple of things here. Now, I mentioned that I spent a long time looking for my car because there were specific options that I really wanted, specifically Burmester sound system, massage seats, the active suspension, the PASM, what else did I want?
You wanted all the gear,
sunroof, all the gear, and that is really hard to find.
It is, yeah.
The closest I found here is at Saxton's 4x4. This is another 4E hybrid. It's done less miles than mine, 19,000 miles. I think mine's done just over 40,000 miles, so about half the miles. 66 grand.
Same age.
We think my car's going to be just under 50, don't we? We haven't quite worked that out yet. I'll leave that to you. But yeah, I mean, this is very similar interior, very similar spec, missing a few of the funky options. Nice on the outside. Black car with chromey wheels. Yeah, I mean, this is a lovely, lovely specification. But as I say, like, just maybe a little bit too much money still to make it seem like a really attractive. I think anywhere around 50 grand, these cars are a huge bargain.
Yeah, because less than 50% of its start value when it was new.
Yeah, so if you're looking not to pitch my car hard, sorry, this is a much newer car as well. It's a 22 plate.
That's what I thought.
Well done, I just spotted that. But yeah, I mean, a very nice example. But yeah, I definitely don't think you want to spend anything more than 65 or 70.
Well, like I said earlier, you put a private plate on your car, but how would you know the difference?
Yes.
You wouldn't know the difference. Save yourself nearly 20 grand.
Well, here we go. This is a lot closer again to mine in terms of age, mileage starting to creep up. This is a car at Marshall's Mercedes-Benz of Preston, obviously a trade-in.
Oh, yeah.
54 grand, 22,000 miles, doesn't have half the amount of features that mine does. And it's so interesting. Are there any other brands or manufacturers where options matter as much as they do on Porsches? Or can affect value as much as they can do on Porsches?
That's subjective, mate, as well, to what you're looking at. So when we price cars as dealers, obviously there is some consideration into options, but that car that we're looking at now has still got options.
Yeah.
And we always look as dealers as the important ones, like a roof, whether it's got Bose or Burmester. Bose is completely acceptable. Nice wheels, cameras, Apple CarPlay, all stuff like that. That's all lovely. And then all the other bits on top, from our point of view as a dealer, don't really make it worth any more money.
Okay.
So maybe a tad more,
sure,
but not like thousands more. Like when you look at it's why you lose so much money when you really high spec a car. My M3 is a good example because it's a fully loaded car that has everything on it. A one with a lesser spec wouldn't really go for any less money.
Fine.
So, really, when you really load a car up, like really load it up, which is what someone's done with your car, when they go into the used market, it's then people will see the added value in the extras, and some people are prepared to pay a bit more for that, and some people go, well, actually, I'm quite happy with the extras on that car. And always, as I always say, everything is about price.
So how does that translate with you and the Spider RS, for example, when you were like, I want a Visac car, or that's a non-ceramic car? Yeah,
so these are not mainstream cars, and they are really spec specific, essentially.
You think that's a performance car thing? You think that's a Porsche GT car thing?
It is a performance, but even when you look at it's same for Ferrari and Lambo, it's the same for all of them. But even when you look at the option lists on my car, but it's big, and then when you look at the option list on a car that hasn't got ceramics and it hasn't got Visac, the used car price is maybe 10 or 15 grand difference, essentially. But
Yeah.
from new, it would have been 25, 30 grand difference.
Okay, fair.
So
I get your point.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in the day when I was buying them Pistas,
Mm.
you know, I had friends of mine that were speccing them out at 275, 280, not really putting loads of options on them. And then I had another friend of mine that spent 340 on one.
Okay.
When it became a used car, it was probably worth 10 grand more.
Interesting.
So
Okay,
he's
fine.
done all his money because he's loaded the car with extras.
got
And
carried
all
away.
the big performance cars are saying, and it, as you come down the chain, essentially, when you get to something like your car, which is mainstream,
Mm-hmm,
same with X5, same with anything you can think of,
Yeah.
then it's like knit and pick, because they've all got options, but they've all got different options.
Yes.
And that's what makes our job difficult, because how do you price the car?
Sure.
So that's where this bit comes in. The old noggle comes in, where you have to have a bit of experience and you have to know what you think you can get for the car.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, hopefully you'll get a good price for mine. But as
We
I say,
will.
yeah, if you're intrigued and interested, it will be going live with Tony in the weeks ahead. And its replacement, I suppose,
It's coming.
it's coming. Will be unveiled soon.
Is it
enough.
coming? Or
Yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, then I'm really excited.
Let's leave it as that.
Do I know what it is? Or
Yeah.
okay. I know what it is, everyone.
Thank you for checking.
okay, fine.
I appreciate that. And on air, am I allowed to say that I know? Do you want to pretend like I don't know in a week's time?
Yeah.
Well done.
Do you want me to do some terrible acting like I normally do, or do you want me to tell the truth?
Only in your ears. So, quickly on the Tonale. That car has been a less successful or romantic story.
That was a hybrid car you just said.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do a hybrid. It's had its moments. I still love the way it looks.
Broken or?
No. Not a single issue.
Oh, good.
In the entire 6 months, not a bong, not a blip, not a light,
Not
not
bong.
like
Yeah,
just.
nothing.
But it is it's just not great.
Well, like
it's good.
fair. I mean, good is good because no one makes a bad car now. Every car's good.
Yeah.
Because it has to be.
Yeah.
But like I said, when you got it, I always thought on the list you'd go through quite a lot of manufacturers before you pick the Tonale, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not wrong, and I'm sure that's a battle that they constantly face. As I say, love the way it looks. Like the interior a lot. It is a cramped cabin. It's a small car anyway, but it feels cramped in there. Infotainment system, I just don't like any of the Stellantis infotainment system.
No.
It's fiddly, it's tiny, the text, like just the functionality is really small, and if you've got fat fingers like me, it's hard to sometimes push, hard to see things. My daughter loves looking at the pictures that Spotify, just the artwork for songs when they're playing on Spotify, and then all of the cars, they're usually big and bright. She can barely see it because it's little tiny little pictures. It's all just shrunk. It's sort of hard to be super critical because I sort of do like it. It's just not really won us over.
Yeah, okay.
And with time, I found the seats weirdly uncomfortable on longer journeys. It is actually quick. I will say that I couldn't ever really make my mind up, but it is quick.
Okay.
I took it off somewhere by myself the other day and had a proper
300 horsepower, something, 200.
280 or something.
Okay,
I think.
fine.
But it does,
Move on.
you got to sort of let it all rev out. But it does, it moves on.
Yep.
But a nice little car. And if you're not really into your cars, would you bond with it? Potentially, but we haven't.
Okay.
And so
Do you think because they've tried to trace mainstream, do you think the specialness come out of it a bit?
I don't think there was ever going to be a specialness. It's a day-to-day little SUV crossover-y type thing, which I borrowed thinking that I would want to go and buy because I like the way it looks and I just like the idea of it. And it's sort of an X1 rival, but with Italian flair and a badge I like. And unfortunately, it's just not. I would go and buy the X1. Do you know what I mean? Or a Q3, or do you know what I mean? I just would make the predictable move in XC40. All
fair.
of these things. It's nice and it's cute and it's done a job, but it's just I'm a bit like cool. It's going.
Yeah.
And adios amigo.
It was nice you had it, but you would have been disappointed if you'd have bought one.
Yeah, and I still see them. I go, I see it at the car park. I'm like, it looks amazing. But yes, if I had bought it, I would be thinking, I
want to change this car in a minute. Yeah, fair enough.
That would have been too soon.
Yep.
So I'm disappointed in that sense because I love Alpha and I want Alpha to be doing great things, and it would have been nice to have a little Alpha, SUV run around. But It's not the way. I don't quite know our next move. I think I've got another loan lined up in the short term. Still haven't been able to get my hands on a new X3 yet. I don't think I want a new X3. We would go back to an old one or an X1. But anyway, we'll see. So sorry, Alfa Romeo. Thank you for the loan. It's been delightful.
Yeah. See you on the next one.
Yeah. But my advice is maybe if you're in that market, shop around. Not necessarily like it's not a no, it's just a shop around.
But I think Alfa Romeo, like you said, would be fully aware of that, mate.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure. We've got a cool invite, by the way.
Where?
To go and test back to back the Renault 5 Electric and the Alpine A290.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to go and do that.
How cool would that be?
Oh, mate. Because I want to buy the Renault 5.
I do. Oh, yeah, of course you said so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So I
I've
thought
got
we
a
could
bit
do
of a
a little
complaint.
trip. Oh, go on.
Not a bad complaint, but we went to poke round one because we are seriously going to buy one. And the dealership we went to, they could not be less interested in trying to sell me a car.
Really?
Yeah. Hello there. Do you mind if I have a quick poke round your M5? Your Renault 5, new one. Yeah, I'll get you the keys. Oh, 1 sec. Give me a few minutes. Went away about 5 minutes. I've unlocked it. That was it.
Help yourself.
I've unlocked it. Help yourself. So it goes out there. Was having a poke round. Lovely little car.
Yeah.
Like I really like the materials.
I haven't seen one. I've seen all the photos. I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen one in the flesh.
Yeah, really like nice to touch and obviously nice modern tech. And literally never come out and said another word. So I said to my missus, well, we're not buying one from this dealer. You don't want to sell me a car. So I go on the internet and find someone that wants to sell me a car, basically. Yeah. Mad. And I had that before. I'll tell you what, it's so weird how some of these main and I'm not digging out main dealers because some are much better than others and they're only as good as the staff that are in them, obviously. I had the same with the Porsche, with the RS.
Really?
Mate, I had one dealer said, do you mind if can I operate the roof? No, I can't let you do that. Like, you might damage it. So, hold on a minute. I'd like to buy the car, please.
Yeah. And
I just want to make sure I'm all right with the roof before I... No, it's not our car, it's customer's car. I can't let you do that. And then, like, another... I had a GC4 RS that I was looking at. Didn't even have the car. Car's not on site. Can't get hold of the customer. Like, just really... £140,000 car.
Yeah.
Could not be...
Less interested in selling it.
Trying to sell a car.
Yeah.
It's
weird, isn't it?
All because they're seller return cars, mate. It's not their cars. So it's not their money. They couldn't care less.
But do you think also it's that problem of it's a job? Like in some of these scenarios, for some of these people, it's not their business. It's not, the incentive. If the car's not, they've got other cars that they can sell or look to sell.
Well, I understand with the Renault dealer because it's mass market, but still, like... I genuinely want to buy a car. Like, at least come and have a conversation with me, So, and I'm sure if I'd have gone back into the showroom and probed him and I would have got something out of him rather than a grunt. But I shouldn't need to do that as a customer. You should be front foot and trying to sell me. It's a new product. Like, come and show me what's going on. Come and tell me about it. Try and sell me the car. But with the Porsches, there should be no excuse, mate. Yeah. It's you should love your job.
Yeah.
If you're at a Porsche dealer or you're at one of the high end dealers, there's people that give their left arm to go and work in one of them dealers selling cars, talking about cars all day. Like, show some enthusiasm.
Yeah. Fair.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not on. Yeah. So, just a few experience. And I like having them experiences sometimes as a punter because I see it from I always see it from my side of the fence. But
when you heard how you talk to people, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Only when I need to. Yeah. But when you're on the other side of the fence and you're a punter trying to buy a car, sometimes I scratch my head and I realise how hard it is to sometimes buy a car.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that hard?
Well, and it also gives you lessons learned, isn't it? Like what the experience should be and where you need to fill the holes.
Yeah. I mean, we never had any problem taking any money off anyone. Never ever a problem there.
People don't always realise they're doing it as well.
That's just genius.
Anyway, I Let me do this. I put out a post earlier on the Behind the Glass Instagram.
Did you?
Behind the Glass _ podcast. For some questions. So we haven't done it for a while. It's always good fun. So what I thought I'd do is just scroll through and then hand the phone over to you. You can have a little scroll too.
Lovely.
I want to see how many we get through because why not? I say it's always nice to open the floor up to everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, bit harsh. First one I've seen from Carissi, 1987, who I think we know. Please, can you do a stock watch section on some affordable cars? That's like an old Top Gear complaint, isn't it? I mean, sure. Sorry, we'll be back with you with some $5,000 shitters. So that's the quote, Tony. But we could do that, can't we? Why not?
Love to.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You would be best placed to do that, actually, because I have no idea like what. You can imagine the cars that I would pick for like 5 or 10 grand.
I know, mate. I know what you'd pick.
You finding actually interesting cars in that price point.
Something that would work.
Yeah.
And do a job.
Yeah.
And get them to work
Keep
every
looking
day.
at Series 1 Discoveries. No need for it, but I just can't help myself. So don't worry, Nick, we're on it. Okay. Moving on. Now this is an interesting one. Dove Stewart. Sam, why don't you ever do videos on your cars? It's a
Because they're always broken.
Because they're always broken in pieces. I mean, the Ferrari is still in pieces somewhere.
And the Porsche.
It's a fair point. Yeah, Porsche's going to come back to me any day.
Oh, good.
Thank God for warranty. I definitely do far less videos on my cars than I used to. I think multiple reasons. Firstly, opportunities that have come my way over the years. The the metrics have shown me that at least in the last 3 to 5 years, videos on other cars, new cars, whatever, perform better than videos on my own cars. I've done all the driving my X2X. I have done the exploring X in X. Like, I've done it so many times. I think people, or at least the algorithm, doesn't push those videos as hard or as well.
Yeah.
And people seemingly are more interested in new car reviews or whatever. I would love to do more stuff with my own cars, but yeah, it's finding those storylines, figuring that out. So usually I tend to do 2 or 3 big things with the cars each year for the channel.
Yeah.
And then I'm just potting around in my own
And
cars.
then it's like, where'd you go and what you do? And,
YouTube's a cruel space these days. Back in the day, I'd just go and drive my F-Type to a petrol station and it was a video. Whereas now there has to be a whole reasoning and a narrative and a clickbait and a title and, doing X, Y, and Z, which involves a lot of logistics and planning and all of these things, which I'm not against. I'm so here for. But I have to do all of that just to get the same views on a video that I could film down the road in a day, test driving a new car.
Sounds like a full-time job. Sounds like an actual proper job.
Weirdly. Tony, best 2-car garage for you right now from V. Junkala.
M3 Touring.
Duh.
GT3. I've already got it.
You've completed it, mate.
Yeah.
Thought you'd say that.
Did you think I'd say that?
Yeah, of course. P. Faraz 34. Who currently is the best manufacturer out of BMW, Audi, and Mercedes? We love this question. We love this topic. Come on.
I mean, I always flip between the 3, depending on what they're up to and what they're doing. In number 3, I'd go Mercedes, less the least.
Mercedes are doing the least best.
They're
doing the worst.
They're
doing the worst at the moment. Agreed.
Not just at the moment, just over the period. And when I think of all the time where I've been back and forth. And then it's a fight between Audi and... Because I've had a lot of Audis personally and I've had a lot of BMWs personally. I've had Mercedes less. Although some of the pros and the AMG GTRs, I love them cars. But other models I've had a lot less. Yeah. And down the years, depending on what week you'd get me, I'd say Audi RS car or BMW M car. But overall, I'd go BMW, probably. When I look back of history of cars that I've had, drivers' cars, all the M cars, all the modern stuff.
But this was sort of now.
BMW.
Who's currently...
BMW.
Yeah. It was very much... Because we've spoken about how it chops and changes and peaks and troughs. and they swap into the thing.
I'm trying to give him a proper answer, really, basically.
Yeah.
I was trying to
No, it's fine, but I'm trying to give you the real question.
Yeah.
Not the answer you want to give.
But it's always gonna be BMW because overall I am a BMW fan.
I think Audi are fighting back. I think in the last 18 months or so, they've been quiet, and I think they're starting. I think the products look attractive. I think they've made way more sense of their lineup. All that BS with, the even numbers are petrol, the odd numbers are electrical, whatever it was.
The Chinese market.
Yeah. So they cleared all that up. I think there's talk that we're not losing, combustion engined RS models. I think they've kind of sorted their head out a little bit.
Well, they really went down that road where we was going to lose combustion engines and they were going to go all electric
Full
like
send.
Merc, and they've changed their mind. Yeah.
And they backtracked. And I think their motorsport projects are interesting. Obviously, we've got Formula One on the cusp. Dakar's been fascinating. Like, they've been doing cool bits. The road cars are starting to, I think, look attractive again in terms of, design language. I think BMW, I agree, I lean towards because of the actual offering, but I was an Audi man forever. Switched to BMW in very recent years. Mercedes I've never quite had that bond with. So yeah, I would agree with you, 1, 2, 3, but I do think Audi are starting to reel in BMW
They're reeling
a bit.
back in, yeah, fair enough.
Mile Thomas, are you going to do a restoration project on your dad's Defender? Yes.
Oh, wow.
That is still in the plans. I'm just going back and forth with, firstly, understanding how much work needs to be done, and secondly, how much work I want to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair. Because he spent some money on it.
Yeah, he looked after it. Like, it's definitely not, it doesn't need actually that much work.
It starts on the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah, literally my mum called me the other day, said I literally just got in the car, it's like up and running, like off we go. I think it's got a power steering issue, but anyway, apart from that, it is fairly in good nick, but it just needs some looking after, and I want to keep its life, moving forward.
Yeah.
But then I sort of get tempted to do like a cool and vintage type thing and like take the shell off and literally make a brand new car underneath and then put the shell back on.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, that's a bit outrageous. So I'm looking at it. I'm speaking to different people, different, like, how grassroots do I want to do it? How involved do I want to be? Do I want to do sort of a classic seen through glass move and take it to the best of the best of the best and get it done nut and bolt? I don't think it needs it. So I just need to sort of decide, but I do want to do something with that car, and I want to do a series on it, and I would then want to do some kind of trip or adventure in it.
Yeah,
like,
fair.
Not a North Coast 500, but like a, something like that. Take it down to
somewhere far.
Yeah, just like a little bobble along in the little car, take it.
Yeah, very good.
Because we took it down to Cornwall once, me and my dad, and it'd be quite nice to do that again.
Yeah.
That was a fun old trip.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyway, so yes, watch this space. Mike Borragero says that apparently Ferrari are developing manual gearboxes for their Icona series, which is the Monza SP1 and 2, the Daytona SP3. Do you think McLaren or Lambo will do the same? Now, I have no idea if that's substantiated. I haven't heard that
me too.
as of yet. It would almost surprise me. It's not really a Ferrari thing to do, but that's what the Icona series is all about. I mean, considering the fact that they use powertrains from things like the F12 and the 812 comp and things like that, like I find it quite surprising that they're going to suddenly fit a manual gearbox to what? But I think those manufacturers are past the days of manual gearboxes, personally.
I would agree, because the bloody cars are too fast.
And the technology.
The tech, yeah.
All of that performance, all of that computing is tied into gearbox and like engine and powertrain. And don't forget, a lot of these cars that are now gone hybrid, the hybrid systems are in the gearbox. There's so much electronics going on.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I'd love to see it, but I actually don't know if I would. Like, would you drive a manual 765 LT?
No chance.
Have McLaren
on an 812 superfast manual? Like, they'd be the word, literally, mate.
Have McLaren Automotive, as we know them since, 2010, 2009? Anyway, have they ever done a manual car? No,
I can't think of one.
No, since they've launched, forget the F1.
Too fast.
Yeah, too fast, too much
fast,
tech.
mate. Too much going on.
And Lambo's last manual must have been a Gallardo. Did they do a manual Huracan?
No.
So that must have been a Gallardo. Yeah, I think...
It's only Porsche.
It's only Porsche.
They're sports cars.
Sports cars and, circa 500 horsepower, not 800 or 900.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't see Ferrari, McLaren or Lambo saying, here is our new manual car with 400 horsepower.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not the world they live in. And yeah, I'm with you. When you look at some of these ones, Koenigsegg's and whatever's, even Gordon Murray T50s, like, yes, it can be done. It's been shown that it can be done and can be engaging in all of these things. But at that speed, at that pace...
Not for me, mate.
I think manual gearboxes are engaging when you can really get all the way through the revs and be changing through gears. You don't want a super long geared, overly powered.
Yeah. You're going way too fast.
Yeah. MIDI 87. What would you do to make F1 interesting? We were literally just talking about this before we were recording.
Literally.
I think it's really interesting at the minute.
Yeah. I mean...
I don't think the racing's spectacular, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what he's trying to get at, as in, what would we do to make the... I mean, is it the tracks or the cars? Some people say it's the tracks because you can't overtake. Monaco, even last weekend's races, only a couple of places you can overtake. So do you blame the tracks or do you blame the cars? I don't know. The problem is with Formula One, because of the money involved, the cars are never ever going to be the same. It's not like one make series like the Porsche or like like these other one make series where it is a lot closer because they've all got the same cars, they've all got the same power. F1's never going to be like that, is it?
No, it's always been this way.
It's always been that way.
Like F1 has always been this way, and we've had periods of dominance, seasons where you have 6 spectacular races and 10 or 12 dead ones. Like it is just the way of the sport, and I think if you can or do get into it, it's the overarching storylines across a season that make it interesting. So you might get a dead race, but it might move the championship in a direction, or there might be an individual performance which is interesting, or qualifying might have a surprise. And whilst you might then watch 56 laps that are fairly freaking straightforward and no one's overtaking each other, and that you're like, okay, well, I could have skipped that and just check the results later. But it's still giving you information, and there's strategy calls and there's decisions that make you think about things. And I think it's more than just the actual racing, and it always delivers, even in a dead year, it always delivers races that make you keep coming back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to some of the deadest seasons we've had. There's always with these 1 or 2 races or more that then just completely come, and you're like, oh my God, this
sucks
is
you back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like, that first toke of a cigarette I've heard that you're forever chasing. Tony.
Yeah.
Casper's 488 Pista or 992 GT3. Ride quality, which one is better for UKB roads?
Flipping out. Neither. If you're asking me to pick between the two, Pista's far too fast for a UK road, and the GT3's too nervous. It's too bumpy. It's too crashy, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So, in terms of power, the GT3's better because it's only 500 horsepower and it gets the power down better. The Pista's useless, basically. But if you ask me to pick, and we take the UKB road bit out, I'd go Pista overall.
Okay.
So
as a car to live with and
as a car to live with, yeah, because the GT3 is very, very good for what I look for in a car, but to use as a trip car, to go some motorway, to sort of do everything, to live with every day, it's better than a GT3 from that point of view.
T-Bond, can you guys do a 1 versus 1 track lap time video of the GT3 versus the Spider RS? Really, I would be interested in that. I know which one's going to be faster, but I never do much track content because if I'm honest, I don't care.
You don't really like it.
Well, I like it, but I don't care from a video. Like, it doesn't tell me anything specifically.
No, I mean, as well, because you're not really into it. You know what I said to you last week that's really funny, though, is that you're not really a track person, but
I like to buy track-focused cars. Chances are these GT3s.
All that nonsense.
You're so right. Yeah.
It's so weird. Is there any point doing that video, really? I mean, we could just tell you what's going to happen.
The GT3 will be faster.
by quite a lot. corner 2, it won't be there anymore.
I mean, these are all interesting but easily answered questions. WRI, thoughts on the 12-cylindry selling underlist on collecting cars? Duh. Welcome to 2025.
Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah. If you could only drive one classic car for the rest of your life, what would it be? I will say 250 short wheelbase GTO engineering revival. I think I know you would say.
Enzo.
You could call that a classic.
Was 20 odd years old, no?
Yeah, fair. Okay, I'll let you have it.
Or the Pagoda thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No,
For you,
fair.
Pagoda. Or like a Gullwing or something.
Yeah.
What current car trend are we going to laugh at in 20 years? What car trend from the 2000s do we laugh at?
Not all of them, they're crap.
In terms of trends, I guess early automatic gearboxes, right?
Oh,
That would
mate,
be
can
what
you
we
imagine?
that's what we look back at.
Porsche
Yeah.
gearboxes.
Yeah, that's what we look back at from what we're thinking.
Yeah.
I think it will be haptic touch steering wheels.
Now, today.
Yeah, I think in 20 years' time, they would have backtracked on that as they've all said that they're going to do. And we'll look back and think that was a disastrous period, all those haptic. Because I think in 20 years, they'll be laggy and faulty and slow and grubby
and expensive to replace.
And we'll just think, and a bit like you go, I wouldn't get a Tiptronic. You'll be like, I wouldn't get a 2022 car because you've got all the haptic crap. And that's just not Ferrari. I'm calling out anyone who's...
But you were calling out Ferrari because it's basically a rant Ferrari.
It is, unfortunately. You don't have to answer this.
I hate it when you laugh like this because it's quite amusing.
Finn FF18. How does Tony afford nice cars by selling vans?
Well, that's obvious, isn't it? And don't forget, I don't just have a car business. Do other stuff as well, by the way. So, mind your own business.
Yeah, well done. T. Hoskin, when is Sam going to buy a classic? Been thinking about it for the summer.
You got one, haven't you?
And that's what he said, not the CS. I'm going to give you the phone in 2 seconds.
Save me some questions, mate.
Yeah. Shiv, thoughts on the X5 50E hybrid as the best all-round car for a new family? You're probably right.
Really?
Well, no, but I think it's a very safe choice.
Yeah. Well, I think anything SUVs, absolutely. Where have you got to here then?
There,
mate?
you can scroll down from there. Scroll down.
Yeah, look, this is a bit of an insight into you and I, more than a car question. What's your go-to pub meal? When you go to the pub, what do you have as a bit of tip, all boy?
How often do you think I go to the pub?
Well, steady shaking. Ask that question.
If you would hazard a guess, how many times? And when I go to a pub, how often do you think it's a bistro?
Yeah, or gastro pub.
Sorry, there you go. So I don't even know the word. Gastro pub.
Yeah, you're not really like you're not a pub friend of mine. I will go to the pub every now and then. I'll have a glass of wine normally. I won't have a beer. I'm not a beer man. I've never been a beer man. Don't like it. What will I have to eat? Oh, whatever that. I like a roast.
Sure.
Nice roast dinner. Like a curry. Love a curry.
Okay.
You can have a nice Larry curry and a.
Sure.
You know, I mean, whatever takes me fancy. Really, I like a bit of vegetables and meat.
I like a shandy. I like a shandy.
This is the sort of man I'm dealing with here, see?
And
You have a shandy,
I like
please.
a Ploughman's.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
like
not a bad
Ploughman's.
shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have a go because I'm the same as you. Like, what's on the menu? Like, I'll try whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Shepherd's pie, all that stuff, like all that bit. But I do like a Ploughman's. Ploughman's and a shandy. There we go.
Fair. It's very good. I
think Twiggy's dead, by the way.
no, she's asleep. Don't be like that. Sam, this is for you.
Please.
Can we share an update on your share portfolio?
Oh, God. Yes. Oh, my God. We were supposed to do that like a month ago, weren't we?
Oh, no.
My shares with Swissquote Bank Europe, who... Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll do it because we've got that event coming up in Luxembourg. That'll be when we do it.
All right.
Because I haven't done it for ages. We went on a bit too long last time. People got a bit bored by it. So we do need to have a look at it because it's been quite interesting.
Yeah.
But we will talk about because actually I think as well they've got one of their big customers coming who's a huge Porsche investor.
Nice.
So actually maybe that's the perfect. We'll do it then. Let's
Okay.
So coming soon. Coming
Stand
soon
by
the
your
live
bed.
event. Yeah.
Stand by your bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on.
bit of an F1 one here.
Like that.
Will McLaren come out with a special car / livery if they win another championship, F1 championship? I mean,
No.
No?
No.
I mean, when was the last time they won one? It was a long time ago.
Well,
mate.
they won constructors last year, which is the first time since 99.
When they win a championship, though.
And the drivers' championship was
Lewis.
Hamilton, 2008. But the constructors has been longer
They'll bring a car
because they
out.
didn't get it that year because they got disqualified, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're gonna.
Oh, sorry, a road car.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. They've already done a constructor special.
they'll bring a Larry. If they won they'll bring a Larry car out, won't they? If they
I think it'll just be a livery.
well, they won't build a proper car.
No,
Oh, what a shame. All right.
they got the W1, mate.
Oh, this is a juicy one, which I absolutely don't agree with this question, but I'm going to say it. Why is the T50 overrated? Oh, it's a brilliant car. I mean, what a
Yeah, it's
stupid
fantastic.
question. Okay, fine. So, where's he getting that information? Because it's not from us. Huh? Move on.
Well, no, I mean, you have to move on, but I will totally embrace the question. I think we've spoken about it a few times before. A lot of my personal issues with that car is that everyone decided it was fantastic before ever.
Experience.
Well, firstly, experiencing it, but also anyone else experiencing it. Like,
Yeah.
just from a piece of paper and some numbers and Gordon Murray's name, everyone decided it was going to be the best car in the entire world, and that if you said anything against it, you were
mud.
And we said at the time, like, we could say we're launching a car company, and the aim is for the car to be 850 kilos, 600 horsepower, a manual V10. And people go, oh, that sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have to deliver it, or if we do, it could be the world's worst car.
Yeah.
But people were like, no, it's going to be amazing. And then I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I did have an experience. I had an experience, and I was disappointed in all the ways that I thought I'd be disappointed by he's an amazing engineer, and I think his brain is fascinating. I think the concept of the car is unbelievable, but I expected it to, at that price point and at that market space, have some flaws, and it had all of them and more. And I just thought it's not enough with the whole world declaring that this is the greatest car to ever be made. In my experience, I was like, it's unbelievable as an engineer, all these things like that, but it's also flawed.
Yeah, fair.
And at that price point, there are other cars and things that I think do a much better job.
Yeah.
None of them give you whatever it is, 15,000 RPM, 12,000
Yeah,
RPM,
yeah.
manual gearbox, V12,
Yeah.
lightness, all of these things. Like, agreed.
Yeah.
I think the T33 is a way more interesting prospect and hopefully be a more rounded product at
Yeah.
that point. I love the way it sounds. I still don't like the way it looks. And there we go.
Yeah, I don't really like the way it looks.
No. That's the final full. Let's not talk about it ever again.
Okay, fine, good. This is an interesting question. If logistics were no issue, where would the dream driving tour be?
Oh, for old on the road driving tours.
I've already got mine.
I've got two. You go first.
Can I say it
Please.
before you say it?
Please.
Greece.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I've not done Greece, and I've heard very, very lovely things about Greece. And I saw you
Interesting.
went to that lovely
Yeah.
hotel, and I would love to do a driving tour there.
Well, that we can look into. I don't think that's as impossible. Like, I think that's doable.
All right,
My two are harder.
tell me. You're going to say something really stupid, aren't you?
New Zealand and Iceland.
Iceland's a
Yeah.
good shout. New Zealand, why?
Well, Iceland, I think, is not a great shout. It's one road, and I think dynamically not supposed to be amazing, but the scenery is supposed to be
Yeah.
sensational. I'm actually going, mate,
When?
in June.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I can't wait. I'll tell you more about it another time.
All right.
New Zealand, because it has some unbelievable roads.
Okay.
No
one goes there.
Well, it's just an empty country.
Yeah, okay.
Unbelievable
Bit far, though,
roads.
unfortunately.
Really far. But
Far.
there's logistics, no question.
Okay, fine.
Go on.
Good. Yeah,
Give me a handful more.
Is there a difference between a car enthusiast and a petrol head?
Yeah. Oh no.
No. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh no. You sound like the nodding dog from Direct Line.
I think.
Oh,
Go on. You
yes.
answer it first. What do you think?
I don't really care.
Yeah. I just think you can like cars and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, are you a football fan if you watch football regularly?
But you don't go.
You don't go, you don't know all the play. Like,
Yeah.
At what point are you? I like cars. Cool. Do you know what they changed on the 992.2 GT3 over the 992.1?
Yeah.
What's a 992?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But does that mean you don't like cars? You don't qualify as a petrol head or an enthusiast? Like,
Yeah. I think the petrol head is I think there is a difference, by the way. I think the petrol head is a real diehard, knows like literally every detail about everything. Whereas an enthusiast is someone who appreciates them.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily need to know everything, but just appreciates them.
yeah, fair.
All right.
Yep, nice. 3 more, please. Or 2 more. 2 or 3 more. See how
Okay.
you get on.
Audi R8 V10 Plus or Cayman GT4. Which one? Which one are you going to buy?
All right.
Porsche's better, but I'd probably go the R8 because of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it just makes you smile a bit more.
I think so. Yeah, but
Unless you're going to track it.
yeah, unless you're going to track it. Yeah, but yeah, probably the R8, wouldn't you?
I think they are right.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
That nice blue one downstairs, we keep seeing.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Oh, if Porsche didn't exist, which car brand would you buy instead?
Oh, a Jaguar. Do you know what I mean? Like because that's, you know, and it, like, for me, that's historically been where it's at, right? If you look at the channel, it's Ferrari, and then it was Jaguar that then really slowly got replaced by Porsche. So if Porsche wasn't around, would Jaguar give me the same as a Porsche? No, but would I have an F-Type over a 911 Carrera? Yes. It's just what do you replace a GT product Porsche with? That's the really hard one.
Okay.
Maybe Aston Martin. Anyway, go on.
Oh, I'm saying Ferrari.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I can.
Because I'm rich.
Because I'm not rich anymore. Review Tony's Spider RS spec.
I need to see it.
You've seen it, mate?
No, I haven't seen the full car.
Oh,
I need to come and see the car. Well, we've got to do a proper video on it.
okay. Yeah, we do have to. Okay, what's your thoughts on the new Lexus LFA successor?
Oh, I'm super excited to find out all the details. I don't know anything about it.
Is it a V10?
I don't know anything about it.
Oh,
I literally don't know anything about it.
nothing at all?
Nothing at all. Give me one more question. Come on. Something that's juicy that we can get into.
Okay, fine. Name your favourite 15-year-old old classic / cars.
You shouldn't have taken a breath. Name your favourite 15-year-old. I was like, I literally don't know any.
I should have said that.
Just name your favourite 15-year-old. I was like, oh my God, where's this going? Name your favourite 15-year-old car.
Name your favourite imagine you're 15-year-old.
Sorry,
Imagine
okay.
you're
15 years old.
Yeah, old classic or / cars. What would you have?
Wait, let me read it because I think.
What? It's fine, mate. I've said it right.
Hold on a sec. Name your favourite 15-plus-year-old classic. Oh, no. Modern classic, essentially.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, not
if you're 15, you got an... Okay, fine.
No, exactly. Name your favourite 15-year-old plus classic car. So anything from 2010 back.
Oh, so Enzo. It's easy for me.
Yeah, that's way too open, isn't it? I mean, if any car... I mean...
No.
Or no, like, do you know what I mean? Like, because you go back to 1903. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like
we'll
15
go back to
plus.
1993 then. Go back to your favourite. It's what that's what the man's asking.
250 short wheelbase.
Well then. Thank you. There's the question.
Okay.
Wasn't that hard, was it?
Let's wrap it up there. Well, there we go. Lovely questions. Thank you so much for all those of you that submitted over on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, Jack, our lovely editor, puts out some nice short form content over there. So go and check it out. Give us a support. We'd appreciate it. It's always nice to gain some new followers and viewers over on Instagram as well. So, update, a little bit going on at the moment. We've got the first tour in Spain coming up. I've got cars in garages everywhere. Got the new car coming in any day now. I have no idea, main channel-wise, what's going to happen over the weeks ahead. So I'm giving you a bit of an advance warning. There may be some dropped uploads. There may be some... So you might have to bide your time a little bit because...
we're very busy.
Well, very busy, but as I said, just legit. I need a schmuseum.
You haven't got a car, have you?
I just haven't got cars.
They're all broken.
Everything's broken. Things haven't arrived. Things aren't taxed. I haven't got tires. It's just all. Then we've got to send cars to Spain, and then I'm going to be in Spain. It's all falling apart a bit, mate. But content will return at some point. Yeah. I'm hoping to get a video out this Sunday, but I can't promise
We'll
it.
be back 2026.
Yeah. And on the podcast as well, we may obviously drop an upload from Spain if we don't get it out in time, because if we're in a remote hotel and things like that. So anyway, bear with us in the weeks ahead. I'm giving you advance warning that
We've got to do one next week.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, we're here next week. Yeah, you and I are here next week, don't worry. But I'm just warning you, in the weeks ahead, there may just be some interruptions in your usual upload schedules. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, we'll be back with you at some point. Don't worry, we're not dead. Catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.